A 5-year-old from Beijing asked you, will people marry robots and have babies with them in the future?
Not in the foreseeable future. I do think robots are able to mimic people in many specific situations, but the consummation of marriage and the true feeling of love, I don't think is going to be possible with a robot. We can love a robot the way we love a dog, but really nothing more than that. Having that human-to-human connection, trust, respect, empathy, compassion, that is something we don't really know how to encode and build at this point, and probably not for a while.
But we've seen actually some reasonably very charming robots that are already being used in various places like hospitals, where older people can ask them simple questions and answer simple questions, and they express affection for these robots.
The example I like better is kids talking to Alexa and Siri and having a fun time as though it were a toy or a pet. But for the elderly care, I think it's going exactly in the wrong direction. I believe that elderly care is the job that we as children must do for our parents. And when we don't do it, we must hire a human to do it. In fact, we had a robotic entrepreneur who built a robot and found that elderly people only primarily use one function: customer service. They click customer service, a video of a human customer service comes up and says, "What's wrong with your robot?" And then the elderly person proceeds to say, "Why didn't my son call me today? Let me show you a picture of my granddaughter." Because people really want to connect with other people. Elderly people, lonely people in particular, giving them primitive, fake, and inanimate and non-emotional robots to interact with is a very cruel thing.
You're known as the AI guru, and I thought you would have thought these were wonderful ways of perhaps, it's not a human being, but it's a small, consolation still to have an inanimate object to relate to.
Well, my mother had dementia, and when she was alive the last 15 years, it was her children who spent probably 5 hours to 10 hours a day with her that kept her dementia from worsening. I'm also okay with using AI to protect the security of older people. If they fall down, make sure they've had their medicine and be responsive as an interactive tool. That's all fine, but it is not a replacement for human attention and love.
The future of AI in terms of jobs. You've already said that you think we're moving towards a jobless world.
Jobs that have a low compassion factor and a low creativity factor are going to be at risk. So this could be as much as 40% of our jobs. And that's not millions, it's hundreds of millions. So it's big. But for the jobs that are creative, thoughtful, strategic, compassionate, and so on, those jobs are not only safe, but there will be more of those jobs. We need to preserve those jobs for people, as the repetitive, routine job, such as a teller, a cashier, a customer service, a truck driver, assembly line worker, they lose their jobs. It's not going to be possible to train them to be scientists and professors, but it is possible to train them to be elderly care, at-home care, and so on.
What should the schools be teaching to this child so that they aren't part of the 40 million who are going to have to be retrained?
I think the skill sets that are most lasting are creativity and compassion. And for creativity, it means being able to have critical thinking, curiosity, being encouraged and coming up with new ideas. And compassion means teamwork, communication, empathy, winning trust.